Hi, this is Microsoft Virtual Academy, and we're getting started with Template 10, and we're walking through the behaviors that ship with Template 10. A behavior is an encapsulated bit of code. Pretty handy and unique to XAML.
It is unique to XAML, and it gives you a great design time experience too.
Yeah, it really does. It allows you to declare the actions inside your application rather than coding them. And from the encapsulation point of view, it's really handy because you can have your senior developers build them, and you can have all of your junior developers use them. So from that point of view, it's really terrific. All right, so there's a handful of behaviors, and there's two types. One is an extension behavior that allows you to extend the function of a control. The other is a trigger behavior that actually invokes sub-actions. We're going to be talking about an extension behavior called the nav button.
Yep, nav button.
So let's pretend you have an application and you have a button on it. And inside that...
Is it a button that's going to be a nav?
And you want to nav with that button. All the capabilities of forward, back. You want to include the logic of making sure that you can't. You want to hide it when it's inappropriate. All of that functionality. You just want to make a nav button.
We need that behavior for you. Hide you when you're inappropriate.
All right, so that's what it is. Let's take a look at the syntax of the nav button. It's easy enough. On the app bar button, on a regular button, all it has to be is a button.
Yep.
All you do is add that behavior, in this case it's the nav button behavior, to the button itself inside its behavior's attached property. Now inside that you have two properties that matter. The first one is the direction, so this might be a back nav button. This could be a forward nav button. It also needs some sort of access to the frame. And so when it's going to do the navigation, it wants to navigate a frame. And so a frame is all I need to find the navigation service and do everything correctly inside Template 10. All of that logic is built into the behavior as well.
Okay. I mean, you could type all of that, but is there an easier way?
This is the easy way. Let me show you how it works, actually. I'll pop over to Visual Studio. And so I've got a couple demos lined up here, and it's pretty cool. So I've got this button right here. And you can see that I don't have the behavior currently implemented. It's just a back button or it's just a button with the back symbol inside it. So if I were to, in fact, let me go ahead and just show you what that looks like on this local machine. And one of the features of this behavior is it makes the button invisible whenever you couldn't go back. So let's say I added the button here to the home page or the main page. It wouldn't ever be visible because there's no way to go back because there's nowhere to go. And that's how I built the demo at first, and it didn't work. And
exactly. It did exactly
reminded myself
what it's supposed to do.
All right, so here's the button, and it, of course, has no behavior at all. It just has that symbol on the inside. And now I want to implement that. I easily could have the click event and do all of that, or I could add this behavior. So I will just uncomment it out. It'll be almost identical to the to what you did inside your syntax there on the slide. And with the exception of I didn't have to say direction because the default is back.
Yep.
If I did want to say forward, then I guess I actually should have put it on the home page or the main page, and then I could go forward. But yes. So it says a back button. Now if I run it, it'll add the capability, extending that button so it has the capability to be a nav button.
So there's a whole bunch of magic that goes on behind the scenes with behaviors and so on and so forth, that they understand what the element they're associated with. As you mentioned, this behavior has a restriction that says it'll only work against something that derives from button base.
Yes.
And so it can check all of those things, generate errors for you if you're attaching it to the wrong element.
Yeah.
And then actually listens to specific activities. For example, in this case, it will be listening to the click event.
Yeah.
And then running custom logic. So it's a very great way of encapsulating that stuff and reusing it. All
right, so this is part of why this is a beautiful behavior. So I go to the detail page, and as you can see, it's completely blank. You can't see the button anymore. Even though I can go back, the reason it's not there is there's already a back button visible to me, and that's up in the shell. And so it listens for that as well, and as long as that's there, there's no reason to have multiples. Right? That's not the way you would want that to behave. So I can go into settings, and I can say, all right, I want to move this into the canvas. And then I want to go back to the details page. And now because it's not visible, right, here I have it as well. So that's really, really good. And so if I click it, it goes back to home like you would expect. I can make it a forward button as well. The end. That's the way that the nav button behavior works. It's free with Template 10. You get it as a behavior you can drag onto any button, give it this capability, and it uses all the navigation service like you would think. There you go. Go use it. Have a good time.